And do you support Donald Trump?
I certainly do.
And why is that?
Well, for many reasons. All of the policies that he has put in place, I agree with. I certainly don't agree with necessarily this latest beautiful bill because it costs so much. But I hope that we can make that up in tariffs. And I will tell you, for one thing, I work for a company who imports a lot of raw materials from Japan. It is almost like our backbone. But yet I still support what we're doing because we've been taken advantage of by many countries over the history of the United States for tariffs.
Tariffs are bad for us to place. We don't want to do that. And
Well,
that's paid by the American consumer. And it's
first of all, let me
disproportionately lower and middle income individuals, as it is the case that they spend a greater proportion of their income on consumer goods comparative to people who are richer.
so tell me then why it's so good for the other countries like Europe to tariff our goods.
They don't tariff our goods across the board. They tariff in some certain
Doesn't
markets.
tariff our goods.
They tariff in some certain markets, and I wasn't saying I
No,
disagree with targeted tariffs.
no. Canada, our neighbor to the north, they tariff highly our goods.
You think they universally tariff us?
Absolutely.
What is their universal tariff on us?
Well, agricultural goods for one thing.
That's not universal. That's a
What do you mean it's
specific
not
type of good.
universal? Well, yeah, but why is it such a high tariff?
What is the tariff on agricultural goods, even?
It's like almost like 30%.
No, it wasn't. They didn't have a 30% agricultural tariff on
Yes.
us.
Look at specific goods. Absolutely.
Can you give me a source?
No. You okay? Google,
That's not a source, it's a search engine.
Chat GPT.
That's also AI. That's not a
I know
source.
that. But my point is, okay, let's get off tariffs. That's one thing. It seems like you're not prepared to argue about anyway. So let's
I mean, I'm looking at the tariffs right now, currently on the World Integrated Trade Solution from the World
mhm.
Bank, and I don't see what you're talking about.
Okay. So what about the border? Do you think it's good for us to have open borders, just an open country? Anybody can come in.
No, I disagree with open borders. Anyone held civilly liable as women should not be allowed in the country.
Oh, I certainly agree with that.
Yeah, so we shouldn't let them be president either.
So I can certainly say that you want to bring that argument back to our president, who you say is a whatever. Has he ever been convicted of that?
Has he's been held civilly liable? Yes.
Oh, he's been no. He's been
A jury of 9 people unanimously determined that Trump's Jean Carroll.
he's been accused of it.
It's not just an accusation. It was a
It's a civil
jury.
trial.
It was a jury unanimously determining that to
That's
be
a
the
civil
case.
trial.
In
I can
civil,
accuse you of being a
and you would not get it through the context of a civil court.
not necessarily. What if you posted my daughter's head on a photo that of a naked woman that you pass around the internet?
That's terrible. That's gross.
No, but what if you did that? I could accuse you of that. So why are you accusing our president of doing something gross too?
If you were accusing me of that, then you'd be able to find evidence.
Well, where's evidence that Trump
Why?
did it?
Why did you just randomly think of that? That's so
No,
weird.
why did Trump do that?
Why did
Why
Trump
why
do
are you
what?
saying no, you're saying that I could find evidence. Find evidence that he did it.
We did. He was held civilly liable unanimously amongst a
No,
jury of
what is
nine
the
people.
evidence? No, what is the evidence?
There
But
was a dress with DNA on it that was unidentified male DNA that where Trump could have given up his DNA to prove that he wasn't the scene of the crime, but
unidentified
chose not.
DNA.
Can you
There is
listen?
no evidence.
Can you listen? I'm still speaking. Do I need to mute you when I speak?
No, I'm listening.
Okay, so unidentified male DNA, Trump had multiple years to give up his DNA, and he chose not to give up his DNA. It would have proven that he wasn't the scene of the crime. There would be no reason, if he never met her, right, for him not to give up his DNA. The only reason for him not to give up his DNA, seriously, on a reasonable basis, would be that it could implicate him.
Okay,
to
he's
be
the
at the scene of the
president.
crime.
He's the president of the United States. You don't think they have his DNA?
Yeah, they don't have his DNA. No
Oh,
way.
that's not.
No way. If it is the case that this didn't happen, they wouldn't have his DNA. They have his DNA because he did do this.
They have his DNA.
Yeah,
First of
I
all,
would put money that that's his DNA for sure.
no. First of all, they have his DNA because he's the president. Because even the medical records of presidents
No,
are
no, not in civil courts. You needed to consentfully get it.
what
Yep.
they.
Wait, I
For
mean, I agree
you're
with you. It
telling
should
me
be. I
is
agree with you. It should be forced, but I mean, Trump should have
you're
had
telling
to give up
me
his DNA, but he didn't because of how the civil law is set up.
so you're telling me as president, no one has his DNA evidence, or no one has his
So
DNA
civil
seal.
courts have to voluntarily get his DNA.
Well, why don't they voluntarily get it? Because they've got it already. He's the president of the United
They
States.
can't because he has to consent to it.
He doesn't because he's the president of the United States.
Dude,
You don't
you are
understand.
not listening. Purposefully
No,
not
I am
listening.
listening.
Then you're an
Listen,
idiot.
no, listen. The president, even the doctor for for all presidents, they don't have presidential rights to hold back their medical records. The United every United States citizen knows the medical records of the president. Even they even asked for the crazy reports, and Biden never gave them. And why do you think people asked so many times?
It's not
Because
true.
he had dementia.
He had plenty of reports. Never had dementia. You're making this up. Are you trolling?
Are you telling me that he never had dementia? Really?
Yeah, he doesn't have dementia.
Then explain his debate performance. Explain that to
Do
me.
you
How
understand
did
there's a
that?
difference between dementia and cognitive decline? As someone who has a grandma who not only COVID but also have dementia, right? It's kind of ridiculous that you compare the two. Like
I've
actually,
got
like I don't. I actually really it frustrates me that people do this.
I
It really
have a
frustrates me.
grandmother that had cognitive decline. I know the difference.
I
So
know my
don't say
grandma
that.
literally had dementia. Trust me, there's a huge distinction.
So you're telling me that that kind of person should be the president of the United States
I don't think Joe Biden is fit to be president. I don't think Trump is either. I think Joe Biden's more fit than Trump.
with dementia?
He doesn't have dementia. Why do you keep saying that after I just told you how harmful that
Okay.
is?
Okay, let me rephrase that. You think Joe Biden with cognitive decline is more fit to be president than Donald Trump?
Yes, Trump has cognitive decline as well.
Explain the proof of that.
I'll play a clip for you. Would you like to hear it? I'll play a few. How many would you like to hear? How many clips? You pick, I'll give you the
Sure,
number.
go ahead.
How many clips would you like?
I'm sure you could play clips of me saying I have cognitive decline and I'm 49 years old. Sometimes people don't make sense. Sometimes
Okay,
you
so then why do you only apply that standard to Joe
A
Biden?
journalist listened to his answer.
I asked you a question. Why do you only apply it to Joe Biden then? Because you just
because
brought it up.
it's very obvious. He put it out on national television and
Dana Marie McNichol, Fox News Channel. Mr. President, is there an expected time frame that detainees will spend here days, weeks, months? And does that have anything to do with the immigration judges you just spoke about being trained and staffed here?
When you say, what was the first part of your question?
Is there a specific time frame you expect the detainees to spend here? Days, weeks, months?
In Florida?
Yes, here
I'm
at
going
Alligator
to
Alcatraz.
spend a lot. Look, this is my home state. I love it. I love your government. I love all the people around. These are all friends of mine. They know them very well. I mean, I'm not surprised that they do so well. They're great people. Ron has been a friend of mine for a long time. I feel very comfortable in the state. I'll spend a lot of time here. I want to, for 4 years, I've got to be in Washington, and I'm okay with it because I love the White House. I even fix up the little Oval Office. I make it, it's like a diamond. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It wasn't maintained properly, I will tell you that. But even when it wasn't, it was still the Oval Office, so it meant a lot. But I'll spend as much time as I can here. You know, my vacation is generally here because it's convenient. I live in Palm Beach. It's my home. And I have a very nice little place, nice little cottage to stay at, right? But we have a lot of fun, and I'm a big contributor to Florida. You know, pay a lot of tax, and a lot of people move from New York, and I don't know what New York is going to do. A lot of people moved to Florida from New York, and it was for a lot of reasons, but one of them was taxes. The taxes are so high in New York, they're leaving. I don't know what New York's going to do about that, because some of the biggest, wealthiest people and some of the people that pay the most taxes of any people anywhere.
Okay.
What the?
So there's two things here. One, he was either trying to avoid answering the question, which is what many politicians do, either side.
So that's
They
a good,
do that.
So that's a good trade.
Second, he could not
then how could you explain it also when there's this clip as well? This clip also doesn't look very good.
But you have a better chance of being struck by lightning than hitting a whale with your boat. There has only been, listen to this, one such whale off the coast of South Carolina in the last 50 years. But on the other hand, their windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. Nobody does anything about that. They're washing up ashore. I saw it this weekend. 3 of them came up. You wouldn't see it once a year. Now they're coming up on a weekly basis. The windmills are driving them crazy.
So you're telling me that you've never said anything that doesn't make sense, right?
Not like that. Also, I got you another one.
So I think one area of mutual agreement and priority is vegetation management. But I think we want to work with you to really recognize the changing climate and what it means to our forests and actually work together with that science. That science is going to be key, because if we ignore that science and sort of put our head in the sand and think it's all about vegetation management, we're not going to succeed together protecting Californians.
Okay. It'll start getting cooler. You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Hey, well, I don't think science knows,
it'll be
actually.
cooler when it becomes wintertime.
What did you say?
It will become cooler when it becomes wintertime. Look, these are nonsensical arguments.
Dude, you're a idiot. Did you hear anything
No.
they just said? They said you have
No,
to
you're
you
not.
have to acknowledge climate change, right? Because it is the case that like it's not just about vegetation management, because they're talking about the fires, right? And fires being influenced by climate change. What are you
You're trying
talking
to-
about?
You want to debate, but yet you keep calling me bad names.
Because you're an idiot.
No,
Quite frankly.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I'm a chemist, dude.
Well,
So-
not a very smart one.
Okay, look, you don't like my arguments, therefore you have to just call me bad names and tell me I'm an idiot.
Well,
That's just.
I'm
it
sorry.
goes.
I'm sorry.
That's the way-
I'm just describing reality.
Well, tell me about all of Kamala Harris's
Kamala.
stupid, whatever her name is, all of her comments, her negative comment, or all
Wait,
the
but
stupid.
before you do you want to address like what this was clearly in reference to climate change, right? And like I can explain it to you. If you're a chemist, you should care about the scientific method. Right? He said that science just doesn't know it yet. That the climate is going to start getting cooler. Do you know the difference between weather and climate?
I certainly do.
Okay, well
And
then
there
you would
is
know
no
that what
such
you just said about weather changing is ridiculous
Look.
to say that's in relation to a climate.
There is no such thing as man-made climate change.
Yes, there is. 97% of climate scientists have a consensus in that. You're
Okay, so
you're a chemist that
Ice
deny. He's a chemist that
So the
denies the
Ice Age
scientific.
is caused by
He's a chemist that denies the scientific consensus. Look at that.
You're telling me that humans caused the ice age? Come on.
Dude, that's not what I said.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. That humans are causing what's happening now. What if a volcano erupted and it causes
Humans are causing the increase in global temperatures.
Oh, you don't know that.
We do know that. 97% of climate scientists indicate that to be the case.
Well, there's 97% of people in the U.S. that are or in the world that are stupid. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's causing
What is
climate
what is
change.
the element with the least level of protons?
Why are you changing the subject? I'm not going to answer.
Are you a chemist? What's
asking me
what is the element
Look.
on the periodic table that has the least level of protons?
Hydrogen.
Okay.
Okay.
I was actually gonna see. Did you look that up?
No, I didn't look it up. I'm a polymer chemist. So ask me a question about polymers then, if you're so smart.
I don't know shit about polymers.
Okay, well, then don't question my knowledge about chemistry.
Okay. Do you know anything about climate science?
Yeah, Michael Crichton even doesn't believe.
No, do you believe? Do you know anything about climate science?
No.
Oh, okay.
Listen,
So then stop. So
you're
stop.
not answering
Wait,
my
wait, wait.
question.
You said
You're not
you told
answering.
me not to question your chemistry, right? Well, then don't question the climate science.
You're not allowing me to ask you a question. What
Okay.
about Michael Crichton? He wrote a book about climate change. He didn't believe in it either. Have you read his book?
I don't even know who this is.
Michael Crichton. You don't know who Michael Crichton is?
No.
Do you know Jurassic Park? Have you ever heard of Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
He wrote the book that the movie was made about. Michael Crichton.
And why
How old
why
are
are you asking me about this
How
random
old I
guy?
am. How old are you?
I'm 23.
So you eat 23.
Yeah.
Were you around when 9/11 happened?
No.
You don't know nothing about life. Come on, dude.
Well, actually, I mean, under your view, technically, I was in the womb.
Well, technically, I've been around here for 49 years and I haven't seen evidence of any kind of global warming caused by man. Have you?
I have, yes.
Wait, okay, explain. Tell me. What is it?
Yeah. Increasing global temperatures, increase the amount of severe weather events such as tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, plenty of different things that we can point to. That climate scientists have talked about this, the change in the level of not just snow, but specifically ice and permafrost, right? Which leads not only to more methane being released in the atmosphere, but also will lead to plenty of different illnesses, right, of our past, right, being released back into the atmosphere.
So explain to me then, over what time frame did all that happen?
This time period has happened since the Industrial Revolution. The beginning of the
The
Industrial
industri-
Revolution
when-
is when
when
we
did that
started
start?
influencing it.
When did that start?
The Industrial Revolution came out of like Britain around the 1850, 1860s.
So you're telling me that the only time they started measuring was around that time then? Because nobody before that was measuring anything.
So what do you mean nobody?
No,
I'm confused what your point
nobody
is.
was nobody
Are you
was
saying
taking
are you saying that we
pictures of the
can't get
globe.
are you saying that we can't get measurements for the past? We have measurements for the
Yes,
past.
I'm absolutely saying that. Yes, they didn't
Okay,
start
so
taking
I can
meteorological
explain why
climate
we can get measurements.
measurements.
So there are ice cores, so they can drill into ice cores and they can see like what the atmosphere was like in the past. Does that make sense? Because the
And you know that
bubbles,
for a fact.
yes.
Yes, that because that's what they tell you.
Well, that's because there's verifiable evidence of that being the case. I just explained it to you. I told you exactly what they used to figure it
No,
out.
you didn't explain. Okay, how did they do that then? If you're so smart, tell me how they do it because I know how they do it.
Then tell me.
Oh, you tell me.
I just told you that they get that. Like, how do they get the ice cores? I don't know the machinery they use.
No. How do they test the ice cores once they get them?
They it's the specific atmospheric bubbles.
And how do they do that?
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. Because you don't understand how ice is made in the first place.
Do you know how cars are made?
Absolutely.
Really? You know exactly the whole process.
Yes.
Do
Absolutely.
you know how your phone was made?
Absolutely. Look,
Okay.
dude.
Tell me.
I work for a
Explain to me
company that
explain
works
to me
for
the process.
automotive. We make
Explain to me
automotive
explain to
parts.
me the process of creating an iPhone.
Creating an iPhone. That's what you want to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't explain that in the time we have, but I can
Go
tell
ahead.
you how they do
You
it.
have plenty of time. Go for it. I'll wait.
Okay. So first of all, they cast the aluminum case that goes around the front and the back. Okay. And then they make a circuit board. The circuit board is printed by a computer that puts down relays, circuits, switches on a circuit board. The circuit board then goes into the computer or I say computer, in the iPhone. Then then they put in a silicone chip, a computer chip. And then the battery goes in. And then there's many layers in the screen. You wouldn't believe how many visible layers are in the screen.
How
There's
many?
layers, about 5. There's layers.
And what are
in
the
there.
different layers?
Well, for one, our company makes. So if you look at an iPhone, for example, with your sunglasses that are UV protected sunglasses, you can still see your iPhone, right? That's because of the layers in the cell phone layers. Same thing with TVs. What else do you want me to
He didn't
describe?
explain the different 5. So the point that I'm trying
What's the point of this argument? I don't understand.
Yeah, I'll explain. The point is essentially to establish you don't know everything about how things are created that you use. And that's
But
fine.
I know more about it than you do.
That's fine. I don't see how
You've
that changes
demonstrated
anything.
that. But yet you
About climate. You don't know
more.
you don't know more about climate science.
Really? You know
Yeah.
more about climate science than I do.
Yes.
You're telling me that.
Yes.
Okay. Then ask me a question that I can't answer.
Ask you a question that you can't answer? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got
You wanted a debate, so this is a debate, right?
How much has the global temperature increased in the past
No, did you
150
do you
years?
want a debate or not?
You asked me to ask you a question. I'm asking you a question.
Okay. Ask the question.
How much has the global temperature increased since 1850?
About 2 degrees.
How much did it increase the past millennia prior?
In the last
Or not past millennia. The past
What?
The past 500 years prior.
They don't know that.
You don't know?
No, they don't know. That was 500 years ago. They didn't have thermometers 500 years ago. So tell me how they know that. You're telling me they had thermometers 500 years ago.
What conversation did we just have?
I don't know. You wanted a debate, so you tell me. You're spouting out crazy stuff.
I'm not the one
So you-
spouting out crazy stuff. Do you even
Oh,
know
really?
what conversation? We just had this conversation. Ice cores, dude.
Ice cores. So they can tell the temperature based on ice cores, really.
Mm-hmm.
Ice freezes up. What
that
degree, what temperature does ice freeze? Do you know that?
At what temperature does it freeze?
Yeah. No, what temperature does water freeze to make ice?
32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, what about Celsius?
0.
What about Kelvin?
What's boiling point?
212 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, well, I'm asking a chemist, so you should know that. What's market equilibrium?
Market equilibrium. Is this some kind of marketing economic question?
Yes, economics.
It's where everything is equal,
Where what things are equal?
plus and minus of the ups and downs
Of
of
what?
the market.
Of what in the
stock
market?
market.
Of what in the
The
market?
stock market.
Of what in the market?
Of what in the market? What specific thing? Gold.
No, supply or demand. It's the intersection of supply and demand. Okay, so you don't understand fully how the economy functions, yet it still does.
Did I tell you I was a chemist or an economics person?
You said that you were a chemist, and that's actually the point that I was just making as well.
Okay.
Is that you leave the specialties to the specialties, and what do the climate scientists indicate? They indicate that climate change is caused by humans. You
Right.
saying that climate change isn't caused by humans is denying facts of reality.